Good evening, everyone. I want to resurface on going back over changing identity. We discussed on how to change identity through conscious awareness and effort with mastering emotions and thoughts and separating the identity, which takes the conscious effort. Now, I want to introduce other methods that don't require effort and go directly to the subconscious mind. And what we're going to be discussing is Bruce Lipton's way of doing this. He's one of the best who understands how the mind works. He's the brilliant man where I learned that children are under hypnosis from the ages of 1 to 7, so their brains are still operating in theta wave. And that's what we need to do. And if you ever heard the Bible verse, we must become like children before we enter the kingdom of heaven. That's exactly true. Kids are free, flow, and creative. They don't have restrictions. They don't have all these blocks. As we get older, society, school, indoctrination, religion, everything tells us we need to do this, we need to do that, this is right, this is wrong, and our perception becomes narrow because we're taught to think linearly when really we are multi-dimensional beings. It's so hypocritical, it's crazy. So with that being said, we have to go back in time and we have to go over these things. We must become like children. And this Bible verse really sits with me. And for those of you in my channel, I don't want to cater to one group of people, so I'm going to use all different tools that I can to help relate to everyone, whether it's quantum mechanics, Kabbalah, Christianity, it doesn't matter. But that Bible verse really is true. It can relate in any teachings, whether it's Buddhist or anything, because we have all these techniques and effort, doing this, words of affirmation, visualizing harder, when really that's causing a lot of resistance, because the paradox is the harder you work at something and all the effort you're doing to this, which should be natural, is pushing you away. We need to remove these blockages. And the thing is, your subconscious mind runs 95% of your reality. Let's write that down because these are important. So we see that right there. The subconscious mind runs 95% of reality. So when we force things like affirmations and force positivity, it doesn't work because the subconscious mind is running a different program. And the reason that doesn't work is because the subconscious mind speaks a different language. We have to bypass the subconscious mind. What is the language the subconscious mind speaks? So what does the subconscious mind, what language does it speak? It speaks in synchronicities, symbols, numbers, dreams, and images. And for those that need to know about dreams a bit more, your dreams can't be taken literally. Just because something happens, that doesn't mean that that's what it means in real life. So I recommend, for those of you that want to interpret your dreams, which I think everyone should, is use ChatGPT. It's pretty good at analyzing your dreams and telling you or making you aware of what they really mean at the subconscious level. And all these tools, all these things that we're making aware of are to help put your life together and clean out the clutter. So we understand the subconscious mind runs 95% of reality and it speaks a different language. Okay. So we know force alone is not going to be able to change the subconscious mind, which is running reality. So we need to bypass the conscious mind to reach the subconscious. And what is the most effective way, in my opinion, to do that? Which is, cheaper, cost friendly, binaural beats. I'm going to write that down. Put sub C, I'm running out of room. Then we're going to do an arrow to binaural beats. There's apps that you can download for free. One of them is called literally binaural beats. Or you can even go on YouTube and listen to, type in your YouTube search bar, CIA 4 to 7 hertz. And we're going to put that down, which is really important. 4 to 7 Hz theta. Binaural beats, 4 to 7 hertz. Binaural beats. I know a lot of people love the 432 hertz, the 900 hertz or 960, 980. That's cool, but it doesn't reach the subconscious mind. And yes, there are other frequencies used for other purposes, relaxation, resetting the nervous system. But what we're trying to do here on this channel for most of my viewers is experience a new reality by bringing power back to ourselves and changing our perception and applying things in real life to really help us out here. So that's why I highly recommend the binaural beats, which is the 4 to 7 theta. We need to have it low. So what do the binaural beats do? Well, they clear everything out. So when you're meditating, it completely enhances the experience to allow things such as more clear, vivid imagery and everything. And it's not that you're visualizing harder or anything. It's allowing you to see more because it's clearing out more of the things that are distracting you from seeing what's really in front of you. And that's why they're so important. And things you'll experience over time with this is complete peace and neutrality, like a new baseline, which is great. It's so underrated. It blows my mind that there's still a lot of people that don't know about it. I mean, the CIA gateway files use this technique to enter altered states of consciousness. Now, what is the best way to do this? You do it at night, 15 minutes or 45 minutes before you fall asleep. And it's okay if you fall asleep with them on. And the first 15 minutes when you wake up in the morning. Those 2 times are where your subconscious mind is the most impressionable. So the 4 to 7 hertz is able to do this. Now, to let you know how effective this really is, 4 to 7 hertz, a few weeks of that is equivalent to 3 or more years of meditation. So that's amazing. And it's, cheap, if not free. There's other techniques like EDMR, different kind of tapping and other things that may cost money. But if you want to make space and more awareness to see what is in front of you, because this is what this is about. We're not implementing a bunch of new techniques and putting in effort and getting no results. The whole thing is to remove the blockages to allow what's meant to come through you, because everything is here and now in the present moment. But when our RAS system is disturbed with all kinds of, distractions, and a lot of that has to do with us. It's your choice to react to politics, sports, whatever you think you need to identify with. These are still effort related things that you need to consciously make aware of. So attention is so important. So where you put your attention affects everything. So if you're putting your attention on these things all the time, you got to clear it out. And this really helps with this. So just know these methods and techniques we practice don't fix everything. They help make you more self-aware of yourself, and which makes it an easier way to conduct yourself in a better operative manner in this reality. Because it's not about circumstances or all the challenges we face, it's about the operator. When someone gets in an accident, let's say we have two of the same cars and two different people, we don't blame the car, it's the driver, it's the operator. And we need to take responsibility for ourselves. But what happened to us in childhood, we're not responsible. But for how we deal with that in our future, we are. And most people are still living from negative beliefs and they're tormented by their thoughts. But everything needs to be seen as feedback. You need to see these negative thoughts are saying, hey, this is where your identity is. Once you change your identity, your thoughts change too. They both work hand in hand together. New identity, new thoughts. So your thoughts are helping you all the time. But we can't keep track of every thought. It's good to make awareness by really focusing on your emotion, by continuously bringing yourself to a higher vibration, meaning if you're feeling ungrateful, bring yourself to being grateful. Situation give you an anxiety, you pull yourself to being peace. Those methods help, change your identity to a better baseline in which you're going to receive better reflective thoughts of who you are. That being said, this is all about a technique that is going to speed up your results because everybody wants the easiest and fastest way, and I don't blame you. So binaural beats, do that with meditation. This will help with identity shifting and manifestation. People claim that they can visualize better and get more focus on what it is they want, and that's great. So there's no reason not to do this. It's been studied for years and researched, and it's all non-effort. So this meditating or meditating together, both of them is the real, most effective way to do this. But here's the thing. I would say after a few weeks, it won't be as effective after a while. So it's not something you can just do for forever and ever. It's really to help stabilize you and help you integrate into a new identity. Because when we raise our vibration and we start getting to a more preferred identity, all the negative stuff is coming up too, where our ego and our past self is constantly trying to get us. Because when you are vibrating higher and you're reaching higher levels of consciousness, that's great, but the darkness also rises too. As above, so below. Same. As darkness rises, so does the light. So we have to understand they work hand in hand together. So it's not like, oh, I'm doing all this so I can live in pure bliss and I'm never going to experience negative. No, you're still going to experience that, but a lot less. But when you're getting there, the challenge increases, and that's where you're practicing these techniques, these awareness. You're separating yourself from this negative emotion or these thoughts. And now we have tools to help us, the Hertz frequency. So it's all a part of the program. Everything works together. And you realize it's more about removing what's not needed for you so you can see the bigger picture and experience what is meant for you. Confusing thoughts, oscillating emotions, influenced by politics and people. You got to come home to home base. Your identity is not that. But you go out in the world and you make the effort not to be a part of that, you see that it's wasted energy and wasted attention. If you have 100%, right? That's why they say, can I have your undivided attention? You can't keep dispersing it and still be where you are, where you're supposed to be, source with God, yourself, source. And all these things in the world, they distract us from what we need to do. There's some crazy stuff, but let's be honest, most of you really don't do anything about it. Politics, or sports, they argue online, but that's just speaking out of your ego. You're not speaking from your higher self. Now, if you wanted to start a charity or, do something productive, then that would be for your higher self, because people are doing that aren't arguing online. They're sticking to a focused purpose and they're putting their attention to that in something they believe in for a higher or better good for society. But if you're not going to do that, there's no need to even engage or get involved, because You're putting your identity in something that's not you, which is dropping you down vibrationally. So if you catch yourself in a moment about to say or comment, don't even judge the situation. And things like this, when you wake up and after your sleep and doing this technique, you're going to have such mental clarity and sharpness, you're not even going to want to be involved. It's going to feel like a new feeling for you. But it's not permanent. It's meant to help you. So a few weeks at a time, stop, come back to it. But it really helps with the identity shift, because when you're changing your identity or you're reaching higher levels of consciousness, being more aware of your true self, all those negative emotions and thoughts, and then your nervous system has to catch up too. So a lot of people, when they're reaching levels higher of consciousness or vibrating more, they feel more anxious. They feel this surge of energy, and it takes time. So when we meditate, we do breath work, we put focus on the nervous system, and we quiet the mind. All this helps integrate the nervous system into the identity. They're all just as important. Your nervous system, your thoughts, your emotions, all of this help with integrating your new identity from who you were to your true self. Everybody, I hope you liked this video. I didn't want to get too much into other techniques. This was mainly for understanding meditation, but doing it with binaural beats, because everybody wants things that aren't hard work. And I think people are working too hard with visual boards, affirmations, and forcing beliefs that they don't believe. So with this will help clear the clutter and allow the flow. Most of the reasons why people aren't getting what they desire, because they're vibrating a lower frequency, and they may realize it, but all this stuff has to be cleared out. And this is one of the easiest ways to do this. Bruce Lipton, his teachings teach this, and many others. He's one of the best for understanding all the techniques in the subconscious mind. But until we understand that the subconscious mind speaks a different language, all the forceful things that we're doing is not going to make much of an impact. So that's why when people read certain books, like Hebrew books, or practice Hebrew. Hebrew is a code frequency language, and when people are doing these rituals or using these symbols, it's creating alignment, because when you're making these symbols and you're focused, we're bypassing the conscious mind and it's going to the subconscious mind. So when you're focused, focus and intention brings things right to the subconscious mind where we need. So when we're doing this, because the subconscious mind is speaking a different language, or we're focused on symbols and numbers, it makes a big difference because it creates alignment. So, and this all goes together with being coherent. Coherent is where the mind, the nervous system, and emotion all agree. And that's why people may practice sigil signs and numbers and studying these things, because they're reaching the subconscious mind, which is going to filter out the unnecessary things, where they can see reality through a new lens with a better perspective, to allow more things into their life that are more representative of who they really want to be and should be. I hope this makes sense. I'll go into other teachings, about books and things of this sort, but I don't want to go off into all different topics. So today, I really hope that you guys understand the importance of things that are free, that don't cost money, like the 4 to 7 hertz binaural beats. They're great. And let me know what you think. You guys have any comments, anything that doesn't make sense? Always love to hear your feedback. I want to grow this channel, grow a community, help people. And remember, I really want to stress to people that it's not about doing more techniques, focusing harder till you've got sweat drops. It's more about taking a deep breath, taking a step back, and just remembering who you are, and less doing and more removing and allowing more flow. Just think of a rock blocking a dam. We need to move that rock to allow the flow. That's what it's about. All right, everyone, have a good evening. I'll be making some shorts. I'd like to hear some feedback. All right.